It is the return of Who Wins here on Fog Entertainment, and in today's edition we have got Christopher Moltisanti taking on Juice Juan Ortiz from Sons of Anarchy. With Sopranos versus Sons, and you know what, it's been a long time coming this, because we haven't actually did one of these in a while, so let's not waste any time and let's basically discuss both of the characters before we get into the fight to the death and who would win it. But you know, I think both characters are like similar because they're outcasts of their each crew. Christopher, you know, has basically risen not to the top of the Tony, the Soprano, the New York, the Nick, but you know, he's went to like the bottom to like, you know, relatively, you know, he's a captain, so to speak, at the time of his perish. But you know, I always felt like he was the outcast, and I think that scene, I've already talked about it on the channel quite a lot, where, you know, he's trying to describe like his kid having the future, like it's mad, and you look into her eyes, and then Polly's just ripping the piss out of him, saying, well, she's going to be a stripper. And yeah, and Christopher doesn't take it well, and I think that's when Christopher realised, fuck, he wasn't meant for this life. He was like, fuck, I like making movies, I like writing stuff, that's what I was supposed to do, not be a mobster. And I feel like the exact same logic can be applied for Juice. And because when you look at Juice from Sons of Anarchy, like, he is, up until he rats, you know, he just seems like he's just like a nice guy who got caught in the world of criminality, in my opinion. And yeah, Juice is just the outcast of Sons, and I think they are both very similar in that regard. Juice, though, he did rat. Christopher never did rat, but then again, would Christopher have ratted if it was to save his own skin? I think he would, and I think, yeah, I genuinely believe that. Of course, though, Christopher killed by Tony, Juice gets killed in prison by Marilyn Manson's character, Tully. So, two pretty different deaths. But I mean, in terms of who did more for what, I mean, I'd say Juice did more for the Sons than what Christopher did for, you know, the Soprano crime family. But again, Christopher didn't actually rat, Juice did. But let's dive in to the fight to the death. I think both of them lacking a lot of physicality, too weak, kind of shitebag merchants, if I'm being perfectly honest. But, you know, we have seen Juice in fights. He can hold his own. What I recall of Christopher, like, he literally gets his ass handed to him in every fight, and the only stuff he sort of wins is when he uses, you know, his not his respect, like, but you know, he uses his stature, you know, when he goes into that bakery and he shoots the guy in the foot. But even though I know that guy was kind of like ripping the piss out because he didn't know who he was, but it's like he bullies people who are beneath him in terms of like criminality world. But in terms of like a fist fight, Tony would, anyone in the Soprano crew would absolutely fucking manhandle this guy, and I'm not really under any illusion that they couldn't. And Christopher, yeah, I think that's what would lay for him. But as for Juice, Juice can hold his own to a degree. I mean, he did beat up Salazar. I would say at the Sons that Juice is definitely the weakest member of fighting. So therefore, you're pitting two guys against each other here that are very similar in that regard. And to be honest, who would come out on top? I'd give it to Juice, I would. I mean, it's a fight to the death, and I know I said that Juice, you know, isn't really for that world. Well, maybe Christopher is. I'd say Christopher's definitely more of a killer, but I just think Juice would win in a fight, and therefore I would give the nod to Juice. But would Christopher get it over the line and kill him? It's a close one, but I'm going to give a slight nod to Juice. Leave your thoughts down below on who you think would win this fight. But I love making these wee videos. Comment down below who you want me to see make a vid on next, and until next time, peace.